They were they were probably the best or one of the best families I knew. They were funny and they treated me very well. They told me all the time that they loved me like a son and they treated me as such.
A double murder investigation in Klay County. A 14-year-old boy is in custody, accused of killing his own parents at their Middleburg home, then walking to a church to call 911.
911, how can I help you?
Ma'am, you have all four.
I'm listening to you, honey.
And then make contact, and then let me know.
You pray?
Yes, sir.
Go ahead, I'll listen to you.
Well, I was going to ask if you could pray for me, ma'am.
You ever see an old Facebook post and suddenly it don't feel so funny anymore? Brandi Smith Lee once shared a sweet photo with her son, smiling, close, cheek to cheek. And the caption? "This little boy gives me pure hell." Now back then, that probably felt like regular mom stress, a tired joke, a "y'all pray for me" kind of day. But now, that same boy, her only child, is sitting in juvenile custody, charged with shooting both his parents in their bed. And what makes it worse? This wasn't out of nowhere. Klay County deputies had been to that house 5 times in the past 2 years. One of those calls? A suicidal juvenile alert. And guess who they were checking on? So yeah, we're not just telling a story today. We're gonna talk about red flags. The kind we ignore, explain away, or pray will pass. Because sometimes the truth ain't loud. Sometimes it's quiet. Until it's not. You're on TikTok Crimes. We cover what happens when social media fame turns fatal. TikTok stars, Instagram couples, Facebook influencers. When their posts become crime scenes, we break down exactly what went wrong. These aren't just viral stories. These are real murders, real victims. Subscribe right now if you want the truth behind the trending hashtags. Because by the time something goes viral, somebody's usually already dead. Here's what happened.
Get off me like that. No!
Let's start with Brandi. Brandi Smith Lee wasn't perfect, but she was consistent. You could always count on her to show up. Car full of kids, snacks in the back seat, phone tilted just right for a TikTok. The kind of mom who did everything for everybody, even when she didn't have much left for herself. She worked at a local medical clinic. Long hours, short breaks. David, her husband, Trevor's father, worked logistics. Tough guy. Quiet. But he loved that boy. To folks on the outside, they looked like the definition of a working class, hold it together kind of family. Brandi posted about her son all the time. Photos, jokes, funny moments. But you know what stood out looking back? For years, she'd been dropping little lines. Comments that now feel like she was waving flags and hoping someone might notice. Like that 2019 post, "This lil boy gives me pure hell." And you know what? A lot of parents probably nodded and laughed. Because who hasn't had a teenager test every nerve in your body? But this wasn't just eye rolls and broken curfews. Something in that house was off. Now let's talk about those 5 calls to police. Because this wasn't a family flying under the radar. Between 2021 and 2025, the Klay County Sheriff's Office responded to their home 5 times. Noise complaints, verbal disputes, medical assist, but the one that really makes you sit up. April 2024, deputies were dispatched to check on a suicidal juvenile. And yeah, it was Trevor. Now I don't know who made that call. Brandi? David? Maybe a neighbor. But someone was worried enough to pick up the phone and ask for help. So here's the question every mother watching this should be asking. If you've already had to call 911 because your child said they don't want to be here anymore, why is there still a loaded gun in that house? Not locked up, not removed, just there. This is where the story turns from tragedy to preventable. And don't get me wrong, I'm not pointing fingers at Brandi, but I am saying, when your child shows you their pain in real time and the system responds and nothing changes, then that ain't just a parenting issue. That's a protection issue. Now fast forward to August 4th, 2025. A regular Sunday morning in Middleburg, Florida. But inside the Smith Lee household, that regular routine took a turn no one could have predicted. Shortly before 11:30 a.m., Trevor picks up a firearm. Reportedly a pistol legally owned by the parents. Walks into the bedroom. Brandi and David are asleep. And with zero hesitation, he pulls the trigger. Not once, multiple times. Now let me pause for a second. Because as a mother, I'm sitting here wondering, how? How do you go from calling your mama your best friend online to walking into her bedroom and shooting her in her sleep? How does a teen get to that place? We don't have all the answers. But what we do know is there were years of tension building up. At home, at school, mentally, emotionally. And ain't nobody can hold pressure like a teenage boy who refuses to talk. After he killed them, Trevor didn't run. He didn't panic. He laced up his sneakers, walked a full mile to Cross Point Church, and calmly asked for the phone. The 911 operator says, "What's your emergency?" Trevor responds, "I just killed my parents. Please pray for me."
911, how can I help you?
Hello, I just stripped. I'm by the road. I threw my backpack away from me. I'm stripped. I'm waiting for the police.
What do you mean you're
I have
stripped?
nothing in my pocket. I emptied my pockets and everything. There's nothing in my pockets. And I'm not like on the sidewalk. I'm like in the middle part.
You're going to be in the parking lot?
No, like in the middle part.
In the middle part of what? Of the church?
I'm gonna pray first. I need to pray.
You need to pray?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Before you start praying, tell me exactly where you're at.
If you're driving towards the church, like I'm right out in front of the church. There's a big cross in front of the church. I'm just.
I want you and 31 units to link up together. Do not go to that church until you have all four.
I'm listening to you, hon.
And then make contact, and then let me know.
Do you pray?
Yes, sir.
Go ahead, I'll listen to you.
Well, I was going to ask if you could pray for me, ma'am.
Now, girl, listen. Pray for you. After you just shot the two people who gave you life. I'm sorry, but no, we are not doing that. You want prayers? Fine. But first, you're gonna answer some questions. Like, how long had you been planning this? Did you think it through? Or was it just a snap? And where the hell was your conscience while you were doing all that walking? Once Trevor confessed, deputies swarmed the house on Silver Point Drive. What they found? Silence. No struggle. No forced entry. Brandi and David still in bed, each with multiple gunshot wounds. Just hours later, Sheriff Michelle Cook stepped up to the microphones.
Sheriff Michelle Cook here from Klay County, and I am here this morning to report some just terribly tragic news. Just after midnight this morning, our 911 communications center received a call from a young man who stated he had just killed his parents. He stated that deputies could find his parents at the house and that he had walked just over a mile away to a church, and he would await for deputies to arrive to take him into custody. Deputies responded immediately to both locations, the church and then to a home on out here in the Middleburg area. When deputies arrived to the church, they took 14-year-old Trevor Lee into custody. When almost simultaneously deputies arrived to the address in question, they found two deceased individuals inside, David Lee, 44 years of age, and Brandi Smith, 45 years of age.
You hear that calm in her delivery? That's not shock. That's experience. Klay County has seen tragedy, but two parents shot by their 14-year-old is new ground. Detectives recovered the parents' handgun on the bedroom floor. Crime scene techs marked 9 shell casings near the bed. Before calling 911, Trevor rang his best friend Kyrie Beeman at 12:30 a.m., just minutes before the shootings.
One of Trevor's closest friends, Kyrie Beeman, met us right outside of the Lee family home. He says he's known Trevor since elementary school and he just saw him Friday. He also says he spoke with him over the phone around 12:30 this morning, and the conversation they had, he'll never forget.
He told me that he loved me, and he told me that he was just calling to tell me goodnight.
That goodnight call is the last friendly voice Trevor spoke to before things went south. Trevor Lee is currently held in juvenile detention, facing 2 counts of second-degree murder. The state attorney's office is weighing an adult charge, and that has the whole internet arguing. Some say he's just a kid. Others, he made an adult choice. Let him face adult consequences. During initial interviews, investigators say Trevor showed 0 remorse, no tears, no regret. What did he ask about? His phone? Yeah, his phone. Brandi carried him for 9 months, raised him, posted every milestone, and now she's gone. This story isn't about shaming a mother. It's about hearing her. Those little cries for help Brandi tucked inside jokes, emojis, and Facebook posts. That was her yelling in the only way she knew. If something in your gut says your child is in crisis, please act. Don't wait for it to blow over. Secure the weapons. Call a professional. Stay in that counselor's office until you get answers. Because loving your child doesn't mean ignoring what hurts. Sometimes it means stepping in, even when it makes them hate you. And sometimes, love alone isn't enough to save everybody.
Get off me like that. No.
In this corner of the newcomers.
I apologize for that.
See you tomorrow.